For this video, you're going to learn how to locate, edit, and submit an OG110Q quarterly water production form. To locate the form, we'll click on Forms, Online Forms. We can use the search or the advanced filtering, and we can input in form name 110Q to find that form. We can also see that here it is the third item listed on this table. So we'll go ahead and click on the blue hyperlink to go to Section 1, Form Information. Here we will type in the organization name, we will type in the quarter, the year, and we will provide a brief description, which is required for this form. Once all that information has been inputted, we'll click Save and Continue to move on. Going back to Section 1, just to note that the organization, quarter, and year information that has been inputted cannot be changed. If you find that the information is incorrect, and you have inputted in the wrong year, the wrong quarter, or the wrong organization, please start a new form and with the correct information. However, we can't change the description, and as you see, we are reporting for the year 2021, and our description shows 2020. To be able to correct that information, we'll take the form ID, which I can copy here, go back to Forms, Online Forms, go to Forms in Progress. Using the advanced filtering, I can type in the form ID here, and that'll bring us to our page. We can click on this blue hyperlink to go back to the page. We'll see that it is in draft status. Our subject ID shows us the quarter and the year for which we're submitting, and we can see our description, which is incorrect. If I want to update this, I will click on Actions, Edit Description, and I can update the information here. If at any time we would like to go back to our forms that we have cooked out, to get back to our form, we can always click on Forms in Progress, Advanced Filtering, type in that form ID, or use any combination of the other columns to be able to locate our form to get back into it. Once I've located my form, I'm going to click on the blue hyperlink and go back to Section 1. From here, we'll click on Next to go to Operator Information. In Operator Information here, we'll see we have a list of contacts. We have the submitter, which will be your name, and the agent information. You see we have the phone number and email for these two people here. If we would like to add an additional contact, we can click Actions, Add Contact. If the person or the contact is already within Wellstar, we can actually add in the contact role, and we can click Find Person. Here we will have a list of all the persons that are associated with this organization, and say if we click on them, we'll see their contact name, phone number, and email populate. If the person is not within Wellstar, we can click on this checkbox here, and we can add in their contact, phone number, and email information into the form. Once all the contacts have been entered, click Save, and we can move on to Section 3, EDD Submission. In Section 3, EDD Submission, we can choose to submit the 110Q data using an Electronic Data Deliverable, or EDD template. If you choose to use this, select Yes, and download the EDD template here. Once downloaded, you'll have an Excel document for which we will see all of the wells for which we can submit data for. You notice in the bottom, we have 4 tabs. The first is Cover tab. Second is the OG110Q data, for which we will input in our information for. We have a fields description and a data description. Moving to the 110Q, here at the top in gray, you'll notice we have an operator, operator code, report period, date report prepared, and report prepared by. For the information inputted in here, it will stay within the EDD and does not get transferred into the Wellstar form. As you'll notice, for columns A through J, we have in gray our field, area lease, well designation, API pool, pool code, and well pool type. If any of this information is found to be incorrect, please contact your district office to make sure that the information is corrected. Now, some of these wells, if it is decided that they do not have any sort of production data that needs to be associated to it, we can delete. So if we find that we're not going to report on this well, we can choose the row and select Delete. Sometimes you may notice that you have duplicates in which we have sidetracks for wells that need to be removed. For instance, here we have a well that has a sidetrack for the same formation in the same pool. So we're going to go ahead and delete that, as we know that this information does not need to be reported on. Now going over to the right, we have a total of 12 different codes for which this for information that can be presented. If you take a look here on the right side, as well as right here, you'll notice what the code is for summed and line summed. Please take a look at the field descriptions and the data description to figure out which ones that you need to report on. As you'll notice, some of these tabs will ask for name of deposition recipient and the type of disposal. Please look at the data descriptions to figure out which ones you need, and look at the top headers to figure out where this information is coming from. Now we have already filled out an EDD for this submission, and as you can see, we have multiple times where there are different codes for which are populated. With that, this form will actually calculate the total water, and we do have to input in the information that is in here to make sure that it does match up. For if it doesn't, it could cause errors for our form. Once we have done so, and we've confirmed that all the information is correct, we will save this, and we will input this in to our EDD by selecting Browse and updating the form. Once you see that it has turned green, you know that it has successfully been uploaded, and we can go ahead and click Next to go to the next section. Once you're in section 4, at the top you'll notice that you receive a yellow warning to say that the system is still processing the EDD. Please go to the top of your page and refresh. Sometimes you may have to wait 30 seconds to a minute, sometimes more depending on how many wells you have. You'll notice that once we have refreshed our page, we actually receive some data validation errors. As you notice here on the right, the first 2 wells receive an X for their status. Anything that is in green tells you that the information that was provided correctly matched the total calculations or had everything filled out that needed to be filled out. To edit any of this information, we can see here on the right that the error is the total water produced. We can edit this by clicking Actions, Edit Well. And that will bring us to the page in which we notice that the total water produced is actually equal to 0 when it should be 497. We can input in that information, and if we scroll down, we can see the water disposals has been filled out and is correct. Save this data, and once saved, at the top of our page, we'll actually now receive a green check mark for that well. Now we still have one more that has a red X, and we need to change that. You can see the validation error tells us that we're missing one of our codes for untreated is water suitable. To correct this, we can click Actions, Edit Well, and if we scroll down, we'll notice that our water disposals for 1 is missing something. We can click Actions, Edit Disposal Method, and we can see that we're missing some water treatments here that was not filled out. Again, as we stated earlier, sometimes this information that is on here may, for instance, the name of disposal recipient and type may need to be updated and inputted in depending on the different water disposal code that you have selected. We click Save here. And with that, we should receive green check marks for all the wells that are here. Again, we do not have any more errors at the top, and we can go ahead and proceed to the next section. In Section 5, Document Upload, we can associate any document specific to this form. To upload a document, click on Actions, Add New, place a type, relevant date, description, and then browse for the document, and then click Upload. If the document is already associated within WellStar, we can click Associate Existing Document, find the document ID, and put that in to associate the document by clicking Upload. Once all documents have been uploaded to the form, specifically to this form, go ahead and click Next to go to Section 6, Form Submit. In Form Submit, we can associate an online form by clicking on Actions, Add Form, and typing in the form ID here. If that needs to be done, click on Save to finish that. In Comments, we can add a comment specific to this form by clicking down here at the bottom, adding our comment, and then clicking Add. You'll notice that we have a date and timestamp followed by our name, our organization, and then the comment below. If we would like to preview the submission, we can click on Preview Submission Summary here to look at all the information for the specific form. Once we have certified that all statements are true to the best of our knowledge, correct and complete, we can select this box. We'll see our name populate with the date received, and we can click Submit. This concludes the OG110Q quarterly water production form.